Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Thursday to you, aka Friday Eve, aka Thirsty Thursday, aka Throwback Thursday, aka throw the entire 2020 away, honey. It is a struggle. I know. I feel your pain. I can relate. I just hope everybody is doing well today. I am coming to you today with some topics. Well, a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I was nominated. If you have Facebook and you've seen the social media challenge going around, the suicide prevention and awareness 22 push-up challenge. It's a thing, and I was nominated by a couple of people, and I said, I'm not about to do this. I ain't done a push-up in I don't know how long. Don't gain the quarantine 20, and it's not sexy to me, so I didn't want to do it. But I realized, you know what? I don't give a doggone what nobody got to say, and I preach that to everybody else. Just do it. Go with the flow. People are going to talk about you anyways. So I did it, and then I said, you know what? This would be a good topic to kind of touch on today. Not to drag anybody's, day down, but just to bring awareness and shed some light into the suicide area of life. And it's not an easy topic, and if you have experienced it, know somebody that's gone through it, have lost somebody due to it, my condolences. My heart goes out to you. And if you didn't know, my book, Unapologetically Favored, I do talk about a short snippet of my time when I did myself actually contemplate suicide. And people always want to know, well, how can you do that? Or they want to judge you for doing that. And I always tell people whenever I do interviews, and I've discussed this, that, suicide is not a one-stop shop. Everybody is born into life. They go through life. They go through experiences. Along these experiences and these paths that they travel, these roads they go down, this little bag that we're born with, they're picking up nuggets of experience. They're picking up nuggets of friendships, nuggets of different situations, nuggets of knowledge, nuggets of loss. And some people's bags are a little bit heavier than other people's, and then some people can stop along their path, go through their bag, rumble through it, and shed away what they don't need anymore. It's like cleaning your house out, decluttering your house. Sometimes we need to stop and declutter our bag. But some people don't know how to do that. So they'll keep everything in their bag, and they'll keep going throughout their life, adding more stuff to it, to the point that bag becomes so heavy. And instead of asking somebody on their path, on their journey in life to help them, they don't want to look weak. They don't want to be punked. They don't want to be talked about. So they will continuously stress themselves out and wear themselves down to the core, dragging this baggage with them through their life, to the point where this baggage consumes them. They can't take it anymore. They're tired. They lay down and they're done. That is my terminology, my analogy for suicide. And everybody, you can't. It's hard to explain. You don't know unless you've been there. You don't know what rock bottom is unless you've been there. You don't know what the feeling of wanting to give up is unless you've been there, and you can relate. And the number one thing, in the military is, how do we eradicate it? How do you get rid of it? Baby, you can't get rid of suicide. It is a personal thing. And you will never know who's going through whatever it is they're going through. Because again, like I said previously, people don't want to be judged. They don't want to be shamed. They don't want to be looked upon as not having their shit together. So they will be quiet. But that quietness is what drives them insane. That quietness is so loud. The darkness is so bright. If you've been in that situation, you know exactly what I'm speaking about. When I was in Great Lakes, I went to a duty station in Great Lakes to be a division commander for boot camp. And I went through a terrible breakup. To this day, I've been in 21 years in the Navy right now. And at that time, I was about 14 years in, I want to say, about 14 years in. And I had never been away from home. I've been in Virginia my entire enlistment. And, my family, I'm from North Carolina. So my family and I, we're really close. I have a huge family. And, holidays and birthdays, anniversaries, just for GP, we get together, we celebrate, we have fun every day. It is a thing. And so when I moved, I was so far out of my comfort zone. On top of not being around family, who I kind of, needed during that time when I was going through a breakup. Then I go to a duty station where you're expected to perform top notch. This command is, at the pinnacle, because we're teaching these young sailors, these young civilians, to become sailors, how to live their life as a sailor, how to embrace the military, how to change, how to cope with that change and deal with that diversity. Because some of these kids would never talk to the likes of me or you walking down the street. So now we're putting them in this room saying, hey, you're about to be family. Get naked, go take a shower together, because this is all you have. And we expect them to be okay with that. So here I am at the forefront of this endeavor, and I'm just thinking to myself, I can't function like this. I can't do this. And not having someone to speak to, not knowing anybody there at the time, just moving away from family and all my friends here in Virginia, it was rough on me. It really, really was. And there were days where, I would come home from my schooling and, shadowing and all that stuff. And I would come home and just think, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. If I just take a knife right now, nobody would know. If I just pop these pills, nobody would know. And that was something that bothered me. And I never talked about it. But at the same time, I knew my resources, right? The military does pretty well with providing resources and phone numbers and people you can speak to. We know they're there. But again, it's a personal thing. If I want to reach out and get help, and I didn't. I did not want to get help because I didn't want nobody judging me. I didn't want nobody looking at me saying, Courtney, you're always so excited and so happy and so free. What are you going through? Girl, you'll be okay. But I wasn't okay. But nobody knew that. Not even my own mother until she read my book. So I hear the pain. I understand where people are coming from. And it is real. That is why I'm so adamant about talking to people and speaking to people. If somebody reaches out and says they need me, baby, I got you. Now, if you ask me to loan you some money, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you reach out and say, hey, I just need you to listen. I need to vent. I want to get something off my chest. I will listen to you all day long. And I'm only going to respond if you want me to. Because a lot of the times when we're hurting, we don't want people to give us their 2 cents or tell us how to live our life. When we're looking at them and going, your life is kind of jacked up. You don't need to give nobody any kind of instructions on what to do with their life. I just need you to listen to me. I just need you to acknowledge that my feelings are valid and that I'm not crazy. I just need you to say, you know what, even though I know it might not be okay, you're going to make it through. Because you are never going to get any more than what you can handle. And a lot of the times when we think we're in these dark places in our lives, baby, we are being planted. Because we have asked for something in our lives that is going to take us through hell and high water. So that when we come back up out that water, we're going to be rinsed clean. We're going to be whole and fresh. And we're going to reap our reward, right? And it's the funny thing about life. A lot of us, we ask for things and we don't realize that you might want to be careful about what you're going to ask for, because you're going to be drugged through some mess. So your mess will turn into a message to give to somebody else who might be suffering the same way. I'm a prime example. I've been through some mess. Not understanding why, not understanding how could this happen to me. I'm a good person. I love everybody. I've been told I never meet a stranger. But I needed to go through that. I needed to build that resiliency. I needed to strengthen what was there within me so that I could look back and say, you know what? I made it through that storm. And the next person that comes along that says, hey, I've been having this issue, I can say, well, baby, let me tell you my story and how I made it through. And if you keep the same mindset, if you keep the same outlook, if you understand that life is not going to always be beautiful. Life was not meant to be easy. If it was, this world would be so boring right now. There would be nothing to achieve. There would be no purpose. You would have no passion because you could just have things at the snap of your fingers. But I went through that. I know now, hindsight is always 20/20, to encourage other people that you can go through it too, that you will be okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And you're not a failure. You're not going to fail. The only time you will fail is when you sit down and you decide you're never going to stand back up again. That is going to be your failure. But if you fall down 1,000 times, baby, get up 1,001. If somebody tell you you ain't shit, you tell them you're all the shits and more. Whatever they give to you, you give back. Because if you don't and you lay down and take it, you are not going to survive. So if you have not bought my book, Unapologetically Favored, I encourage you to do so today. It is everywhere: Target, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. If you Google it, you will find it, I promise you. And you can also visit my website at unapologeticallyfavored.com. I have so many interviews that I have done. I'm speaking on various topics, being comfortable in your own skin, being a part of the LGBTQ plus community. How do you get through in life? Purpose, your intrinsic motivation to keep going. Everything that you can think of, I'm probably speaking about it in one of those interviews. But take a minute out your day to be thankful that you woke up this morning. Somebody didn't. Be thankful if you're putting on clothes to go to work and you're mad. Be thankful you have a job, because it don't seem like these stimulus checks is about to hit nobody's bank account anytime soon. You have that job and you're still feeding your family and putting a roof over your head. I will look forward to talking to y'all again. I have so many topics that I can talk to you about, just from personal experience and using what I have gained around me to share and drop nuggets for you. If you're sitting around bored today, that bag that I talked about earlier, I need you to go in your bag and figure out how to declutter and get rid of things that you don't need mentally. So if that means resolving issues with a past friend or a family member, call them up and resolve. Because every day that you live, you should always speak to people and be to people who they need and what they want. So if they're no longer here, at least you can say, I was a decent human being. I love y'all. Have a good day.